By the end of that scene, I absolutely hated pudding.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This is James, and in this video I want to just throw out a theory, something that's actually sad to me anyway. Maybe it's good in the bigger picture for the people involved, but as far as fans go, I don't know if this is the reason. We've talked about it before here and there. I've done videos on the lawsuit that AMC has had against Kirkman and some others. We've talked about that in some other videos. It got settled, and with the original director, producer, Frank Darabont. So of course most people know that Robert Kirkman created a comic book called The Walking Dead, and it was a big success. He tried to pitch it around to HBO and some different places as far as a TV show, as far as Frank Darabont came along and said, hey, I'd love to make a TV series about this. And so they pitched it. AMC eventually picked it up, but they fired Frank Darabont, and Robert Kirkman stayed involved, is still involved, but he did sue AMC. Frank Darabont sued AMC. AMC had to pay a bunch of money because they did some faulty accounting, really, is what it boils down to. They switched up their accounting in their books. They made it where AMC got most of the royalties, and Robert Kirkman and some of the others, Frank Darabont, wasn't getting anything that they should have got as far as what they thought they would when they signed the contracts and stuff like that. So you can notice that after season 11, I don't think everybody's talking about a season 12, or a lot of people are. I don't think we're going to see a season 12, The Walking Dead. I think not just distribution rights plays a part as far as what AMC does with the Walking Dead universe, but I think those lawsuits, I think some kind of deal or the contract with Robert Kirkman also plays a big part into it. I know that we've talked, there's a few of you that enjoy the world building aspect, and that's cool. I, among a whole bunch of others though, I think a bigger portion of fans enjoy the early day stuff. And it does seem that AMC is focused on the world building stuff, going into the future, not staying in the past, but continuing in the future with the characters they have. So it is a strong possibility that AMC is more focused on post-season 11 stories, like The Ones Who Live, Dead City, Daryl Dixon, instead of early days or prequel content due to rights and ownership limitations involving Robert Kirkman and the Walking Dead IP. Because Kirkman, he owns, of course, the original comic. Anything comic related is his. Anything television, the television rights is what he sold. And if AMC comes up with an original character like Daryl Dixon, Robert Kirkman can't really use him or do anything with that. If the TV show comes up with a villain like CRM, Robert Kirkman can't necessarily just take that because it wasn't his, even though he owns the IP of the idea. And of course, the early characters in the early story. So it is possible that Kirkman just retains a little more control, creative and legal control over the early narrative framework of The Walking Dead. You know, anything about Rick or Fall of Society or early outbreak events, especially tying in back into directly like the webisodes did. A lot of us said, oh, Tales of the Walking Dead would be so much better if they tied into stuff more directly. They did touch a little bit in Tales, but more directly. But there may be a reason that they don't. It may require direct approval or collaboration with Kirkman, a different financial agreement, something like that AMC is less inclined to do. Even though the fans want it, and even though it seems like it would be a cash cow if it was done right, it just seems like AMC may have more control, more freedom and control over anything after the comics ended. New characters, of course, Daryl Dixon was there from the start, but new characters like Isabel and Daryl Dixon, or new locations like France or Manhattan, which wasn't in the comics, something that Kirkman didn't come up with. So they can expand on The Walking Dead and do all these spinoffs and have fewer legal hurdles, per se. So yeah, even though the court stuff has been settled already, it totally may affect the relationship with Kirkman and AMC and the story, the IP and the rights, whatever rights and contract that they have and agreed upon. It totally may be influencing what type of stories AMC wants to focus on. So that's why it's sad if it's true, if that is the reason why they don't seem to want to do some early day stuff, is because it's a legal hurdle or complicated, or it'll cost them even more than they'll make or something. Maybe they've ran the math. But it's sad because for us fans, because that's what we want. So it's, I don't know. I think we're kind of maybe in between a rock and a hard place as far as we may still get some Walking Dead, but it may not be what we want. It's going to be continuing forward. It's going to be the world building. It's going to be some other spinoffs, maybe set for sure after the end of season 11. We'll just have to see how it all plays out. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on it down in the comments below, of course. Let me know what you think, and you know I'll join you there. This is James, and as always, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more Dead stuff.